Alright, and welcome to Fairview High School. I'm Jeremy Leitner here with Luke Bell, not as always, but getting there as always. This will be the final game of the regular season. We're a couple seconds from kickoff. Fairview versus Franklin. Fairview comes in, as we know, at 5-4. They're hosting Franklin. Franklin's had a tough year. They're 1-7. We're certainly hoping for a better time than we had last week when we were sitting in these seats.
Yeah,
we
had a pretty good Corey squad
last week. This is also homecoming. It's not the full homecoming, obviously. No parades, nothing like that. But we will. I think we're going to stay live over halftime, and then we should be able to hear the announcements of who the homecoming court is. And if you can't, we'll announce the beginning of the third quarter just to make sure you're here. But we're, like I said, just a couple moments from kickoff. And it's going to be Fairview receiving against Franklin. Some good news, something exciting. Travis Burge, he's been a stalwart in the Fairview program for the last couple of years. We went through some rough times. He's always been there. He's always played hard. Got injured earlier in the year, but he will make his return. This will be his last game as a Fairview Tiger. It's good to see him get back out on the field.
Yeah, it's real good, especially since we thought 6-7 weeks ago that he was done for the season. And it's always good to see a senior fight back and be able to get cleared and get back on this field for one last time. And really, we're one of two games in all of Northwest Pennsylvania that's going on this week. So not many teams are getting 10 games, and having that 10th game for us allowed a senior like Travis to get that opportunity.
Yeah, and Fairview, there's two teams, I think, after this weekend that will have played District 10 games from District 10. Wales City, and Fairview, who has done a great job.
Exactly. Even Franklin, this is only their 9th game.
But we're ready to go. The kicker's name is Benningworth. He's got it teed up, kicking towards the north end zone. And the ball is going to be caught by Burge, who's back to take pitch at the 19. There's a gap. He's in the 40. He's going to take it down to 42.
He had a little space there. I thought maybe you were going to see some fireworks. 43-yard line touching the ball,
but it was probably good for him to just feel that first hit. I know you always feel those nerves at the beginning of the season, but coming back from a big injury, getting that first hit is really important.
So Fairview and Zablotny is going to remain at fullback for now with the same grouping. And it's under center. Corbin tosses to Jeremy Frazeo on the toss sweep to the left side. He's trying to get outside, but there's pretty good containment from Franklin, and they pull him down for about a 2 or 3 yard loss. And just a pure toss sweep.
Yeah, that was a great play by Franklin's linebacker there. He read it, the motion, that waggle motion coming to that side, and so he read that motion, read the toss, and just took a great pursuit angle to really contain Frazeo for a 2 yard loss.
The attacker's name was Aaron Burkhart. We're going to have some trouble with the Franklin name, with the roster we got in alphabetical order, which doesn't make a difference to you guys until you realize when we see the number 13, then we got to go down and just find it. But on second down, it's going to be a fumble. Corbin fumbles. They were going to run a little counter to Denisa, but Corbin hops on it, so that's going to make it third and 13. And he faked to the fullback, Zablotny right down the gut, and then they were 1 yard up the guards. Denisa was following. It looked lined up pretty well, but then Corbin dropped the ball. Not sure why, but he hopped on it.
Looked like we had a little bit of a hole there. The blocking scheme was working, just wasn't able to get that ball to him. So imagine we're going to see Corbin take to the air here, maybe try to hit one of the Frazeos.
And the two wide receivers are going to be Logan Frazeo and Stalzit. Corbin's under center, and it's just going to be, looks like we're running the post to Frazeo. A lot of air put onto that ball, and it's going to be incomplete. Looks like Logan ran one of the more a slant, more a quick pass, and then Corbin threw a deep ball that Frazeo could not chase down.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a pocket there that maybe Corbin could have hit. Frazeo had a little bit of an inside step on the defender, but they just couldn't connect on that one.
The coverage on that play was by Cade Adams. He's the corner they're putting over Frazeo over Logan. But he's also the punt returner. He's back to take the punt from Frazeo as we line up in the punt formation from our own 40-yard line. Snap slow, but Frazeo's got it. A good punt's going to be caught by Adams at the 32, and he avoids a couple tackles before he is pulled down by his jersey. I'm not sure who the Fairview tackler is.
Adams with the return.
It looks like maybe Calvin
Smith with a
Yeah, it's Calvin Smith coming off. He almost there were a bunch of tacklers there. He was able to sneak through, break one, but Calvin Smith held on and was able to make the play. So it's going to be Franklin ball about a 10-yard return there, maybe a little less, and it's going to be their ball at their own 40, which is right about where Fairview started.
Sets up good field position here for Franklin, and we'll see what their offense can do. Fairview's offense netted negative 3 yards on that first drive, so hopefully we can get things going on the next one.
Franklin's quarterback is a freshman. His name is Cole Buckley. They're actually in the exact formation Fairview ran, and it's going to be a dive to the fullback, and he's able to get a little bit of push, about a 3-yard gain. Not sure who the fullback is. It looks like it is Aaron Burkhardt, who is he's listed as quarterback on the run. Inline and Nesselhoff on the tackle, two D linemen tackle a lot on a dive like that. But they ran exact formation and played which is just double wing, double wide receiver, and then just give to the fullback where they could be running some. I don't know, it's called some wing T principles.
And maybe some option look.
It's going to be another give this time, and it's Burkhardt again. He gets about another 3 or 4. Same exact play, I think.
It was same motion, same give. Not sure yet if the quarterback's reading this or if this is predetermined. With the freshman quarterback, I imagine it might be tough to have him read the triple option, but at this late in the season, maybe the coach is mixing it up a little bit.
By this point, the coach always says the freshmen are sophomores.
That's true. That's true.
But Nesselhoff and Zablotny were on the tackle. 3rd and 2, so this is the first big play of the game. See if they can keep the ball. Same formation.
We have
going to be a motion, and we have a false start, and if you ask me on who, I'd say about half Franklin. Their entire right side of the line, the wide receiver, I think the left wing, everybody jumped. It's going to make it about 3rd and 7. I'm not sure what play they were going to run. It looked like to be a run play from the way the offensive line shot out.
They had slightly different motion on that one. They had a jet motion by the tight slot as opposed to the waggle motion where he goes behind the fullback. It didn't look like they were going to give it to him on, say, like a jet sweep or something, but could have set up either another dive or possibly a waggle motion out of it, or a waggle pass play.
That's 3rd and 7. They are in shotgun. Next is the formation that Fairview also shows. And back to pass. Buckley's throwing a slant over the middle. It's caught by Cade Adams. For a first down. That was a slant. That was in front of Tyler Worth. But it's not one of those. That looked like a college football play. Adams runs the slant, works all over it, and this freshman quarterback goes with a bullet on the money.
Yeah, work even hit the receiver right when the ball got there.
Yeah, he was so. If they would have got pass interference, it would have been anything crazy. That's how close and all over Adams was. Just a great execution by Franklin. He was brought down pretty quick by Worth. So it'll be Franklin ball to Fairview 45, a gain of about 12. They're now unbalanced, and they're the keeper in a toss sweep to the wingback who motions. He runs over one tackler and is chased out of bounds. He's about a gain of 5 or 6.
I think that looked like the true triple option. We saw all 3 phases there and saw the quarterback pitch. It looks like there's a Franklin player down.
I think it is Weibel. That was his name's Carson Weibel. He's the one he was a motion classic wing T look. I think they were in a balance too towards that side.
They were in a slot over into the boundary.
And Weibel motions, and then they fake a dive to the fullback or have a read play, I guess. And Buckley keeps down the line. They run option. He pitches to Weibel. Fairview had guys there, but Weibel was able to run over one tackler and get dragged down after a 5-yard gain. I'm not sure who made the play. Weibel is now down.
At the point of attack, Fairview had it defended exactly how you would teach it. I mean, we had our D tackle on the dive, we had our defensive end wrapping up the quarterback, and we had our D gap player, the corner, up on the pitch man. He just, Weibel was able to run through that tackle and get a good 5-yard gain.
Weibel, it seems to be, he was actually entered on the Franklin sideline. He's not standing on the sideline. Looks okay. And they're now ready to go 2nd and 5 from the Fairview 40. Buckley under center. And now they're running a counter, and that play did not work. That was, I saw Chevalier shooting through.
It looks like Januso was in there as well. There was definitely some penetration on that. He pulled the backside lineman to get a kick-out block, and there was just 2 defenders in the hole immediately.
Yeah, it was a counter. And the play runs, and Januso's just standing there about to make the play, and I'm like, this is going to work well. And then Chevalier, before the guy even gets to Januso, runs through and starts making the tackle.
Yeah, Chevalier definitely shot the gap there. Really read his pulling lineman and just came right through the gap to make the tackle.
Buckley's in the shotgun. It's 3rd and 8 again. They converted on a slant last time. Now they have a jet sweep motion to Adams. And it's going to be a keeper right. Buckley off the right side. He's not going to get there. Fairview pushing him back. I saw Tyler Work come up pretty hard. I'm not sure who else was there. Gain of about 2. Just a keeper off the right side.
It looks like they're bringing on the punt team. I half expected them in this field position to go for it, especially with that conversion they had on the last 3rd and 8. But
Januso also they want to play there. But yeah, they're going to punt. That's
conservative play here.
Yeah, I think 10 years ago, everyone would have nodded their heads like, yeah, you punt here. But I think coaching styles have gotten a lot more aggressive. But it appears, trying to see who's back. It looks, yeah, it is Januso standing at the Fairview 10. The Franklin punter standing at their 44, and his punt gets up. It's very high, but it doesn't go very far. It's going to land at the Fairview 27, and caught by a Franklin defender at the 26. So it'll be Fairview ball at the 26 after getting the stop there.
So hopefully the offense can come out here and have a little more production than they had in the last series. Part of it was that fumble on 2nd down, really set them back. But they had loss on 1st, fumble on 2nd, and an incomplete pass on 3rd. So see if they can start to get in a rhythm here.
Keep an eye on who's at fullback. Looks like it's Burge on this series. So Burge, Jeremy Frizeo, and Januso are the 3 running backs. Corbin under center. It's a give to Burge up the middle. He's able to cut a little bit to his right, get a gain of about 4.
Corbin hands off to Burge. 4-yard gain on the play.
Burge is that even though he's not very big, he's very much a downhill runner. He can make a guy miss with some of his shiftiness, but he likes to get north and south right away and get up the field to get some positive yardage.
Yeah, he's not trying to be shifty.
Yeah.
It's not really what he's looking for out of his football experience. 2nd and 6. In the same formation, double wing, double wide receiver. And another give to Burge up the middle into the mass of humans. And he goes down after about a 3-yard gain.
Oftentimes when an offense struggles, especially if they come out first series and doesn't do well, you try to get back to basics, try to just have some small successful plays, and just handing it off for a straight ahead run to one of your senior leaders is a great way to do that. Now it puts us in a short 3rd and 3 as opposed to the 3rd and 13 that we had last series.
Same formation, Stalzitz and Logan Frizeo, the 2 wide receivers. And we're going to give to Burge. He is not going to get the first down. He had to bounce that one a little bit. Gains about 1 yard. It's going to make it 4th and 2.
Looks like Coach Sobolewski's going for this one here.
4th and 1.
He immediately told the offense, stay out on the field, and pulls Corbin over to talk to him.
And a couple options here. Obviously, you can run a play. You can try to get him to jump. You could punt it. I mean, we do have Burge again.
Yeah, you could have a quick kick out of Burge in the back position. Coming to the line a little slow.
And it's going to be a give to Burge. I don't know if he got it. It's going to be very close. So. The spot is good. Burge gets to right about. They have him spotted at 35.
And they gave the first down.
And they are saying a first down.
First down, Tigers.
Not even going to.
We'll take it. Let's just get that. Let's go on the next play. It was very close. I thought
it was close, and I thought that at best we would get a measurement, but the white hat just stepped up, signaled first down, so they reset the chains. Good aggressive play call by Coach Sobolewski, and it paid off.
Yeah, that's an example of Franklin didn't want to go for it deep in Fairview territory, and Fairview goes for it deep in their own territory. Now Corbin's back to pass. We're going to throw a fade to Frizeo. It's a deep ball, and it was well thrown but incomplete. Frizeo could not pick up the ball.
Yeah, I think Frizeo just had an issue with tracking the ball there. It looked like when he was looking up, he didn't see the ball coming. I mean, it was a little bit of a lower throw, but it was on target.
Yeah, it was not. I don't know. It wasn't a frozen rope, as they call it, or it wasn't one of those high ones that you run under. It's kind of in between. It was well located by Corbin, but Friseo just couldn't find it himself.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was in that range, maybe right where those lights are, that he wasn't able to track the ball and come down with it.
It's now 2nd and 10, so Fairview took their shot. Now maybe we'll get 3 more plays of burst. It's going to be option. Corbin keeps it, and he is unable to get outside the box. He runs down the line of scrimmage. I don't know if he was looking to pitch it or not, but he ended up keeping it, and he lost about a yard, making it 3rd and 11.
Yeah, and it looked like we had some pressure off the edge right away on that play. That kind of got in Corbin's hip pocket, and he wasn't able to really get out to the edge.
So it looks like we're going to go, we're under center, but trips right. It's the Friseo brothers and Januso. Rolling out is Corbin. He throws to Logan Friseo, who catches it, but he's out of bounds. So it's going to be 4th down now. Corbin's under a lot of pressure. And he was able to get the ball off, and it was caught. It was accurate. It's just Friseo ran out of room running the out into the sideline.
And it's one of those things, we were on the hash, and you want to try to roll out to your quarterback's dominant hand, and so rolling out to the right for Corbin, and we ran out of field there.
And he was under a decent amount of pressure. It was a pretty good ball, all things considered. Just
yeah.
It wasn't a lot of room. So Friseo's on the field to punt. He'll be punting again to Cade Adams. Remember, he had a good return last time. A high punt.
Nice punt here.
Caught by Adams. Oh, he fumbled it, but it's jumped on by a Franklin defender, or blocker, I guess.
I thought Gio Natale was going to be there to pick it up, but he was kind of caught off balance going in to make the tackle. And the way that fumble came off of the shoulder of the returner, it went behind Natale, so he wasn't able to change course and get there before another Franklin player jumped on.
The guy that Natale had beat, he had run down. He was one of the gunners on the punt team, and he had outrun the guy supposed to block him. He was running full speed at the returner. The ball hits the returner in the shoulder, and Natale and the returner kind of fall over as they try to figure out where the ball is, and then the guy supposed to block Natale comes up 3 yards later and falls on the ball. So it's going to be Franklin ball at the 38. Their own 33 on their left hash. And Buckley's under center, and it's a toss sweep off the right side. He's got a little bit of room before he's upended.
Oh, it looks like we've got an injury
by
down there.
Tyler Work. Burkhart on the carry, their big fullback. They ran toss sweep. Work is up, but he looks to be in pain. It's something with his ankle. I don't think it's overly serious because he's attempting to stand and then decides to go back down. But he's going to stay down for now.
Work came up, made a great tackle on that sweep, but did something with his ankle in the process. Looks like it just kind of got caught up in the turf when he went low on the runner. His cleats were stuck in the turf and ended up turning his ankle a little bit.
Yeah, Burkhart's not a big kid. They're fullback. He's 150 pounds, but he runs hard.
He does.
And he just decided he was going to. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to get away from this tackle. I'm just going to run him over.
Yeah.
And so that's what Work made the play, and then they went somersaulting over each other.
Work is up and walking off on his own power, but there is a noticeable limp as he walks to the sideline. So I imagine Nicole's going to get that cleat off, tape him up, but it looks like Work, another senior, is determined to not be done for the game.
Nobody's helping him off. Like Nicole seems not to be that worried that he's walking on his own way. So
might be one of those things, when you turn your ankle, it kind of goes numb for a little bit,
and I've always found the rule: if you sit for 20 minutes, you're not playing again.
Exactly.
If you continue to play,
you let that adrenaline continue, and then you know what? It's going to hurt tomorrow, but get some stabilizing tape on there and get back out there.
All right, so now Franklin's back under center. Buckley drops back to pass. They're going right at Logan Friseo. It's going to be a deep ball to Adams. Friseo and Adams, it's going to be incomplete. Cade Adams, their senior wide receiver, looks to be a pretty good athlete. They just went right at Logan Friseo.
I like the call by Coach Turk. The defensive left corner gets taken out. So even though it was a starter that was put there, our starting free safety was put at corner, sometimes they're not used to that position. So he wanted to challenge that early.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd run a fade against Logan Friseo.
Well, yes, yeah. Personnel, I agree. The idea behind it, I think doesn't necessarily.
Maybe you run a post on him and try to throw it a quicker pass.
Yeah, trying to a jump ball on him isn't necessarily a good idea.
But Buckley's back under center. It's now 3rd and 6 from the.
It looks like they
Franklin's going to call a timeout. And Luke referred to Coach Turk. Matt Turk, the coach of Franklin, does have some Fairview connections. I don't know how long ago.
Back when we played.
Yeah, he was a middle school coach at Fairview. I don't know if he
and then he was actually my D-line coach for a year up at the high school.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't remember him coaching me, so it must have been not that anybody else cares besides us, but the fall of 03.
It would have been the fall of 03, my senior year. I think he was the D-line coach up at the varsity, and because actually Coach Turk for Franklin and Coach Sobolewski were college teammates, and they go back to your dad was their coach at Gannon, and so that's why Turk helped out and coached on the Fairview staff back then. So he's got some ties to Fairview, some history here. Our coaches know him. He knows some of our coaches, and
yeah, and I've known him for a long time because he and his brother actually were at Gannon under my father when my father was there. So he's been that's I think how he ended up out here. He's been around football for a long time. It's good to see him coaching back where he's from down in Franklin. Now 3rd and 6.
And that slot over look.
And they're going to run a toss sweep to Burker. He's off the edge. He might It's a block. He's able to get there and make him cut back and make the play. Taylor Sussman's right behind, helped out. It's going to be about 4th and 6.
Yeah, that was a great play by Zablotny there. He had great pursuit, seeing the toss sweep, coming out to the C or D gap there, and like you said, caused the runner to turn back in, and Sussman was there to assist on the tackle.
It's now 4th down. Franklin's going to punt again. I didn't get the number of their punter last time, but he's standing at the 25. It's Fenningworth, and Fairview tries to block it. He just gets it off. Januso catches the ball at 33, and he's brought right down. A nice play.
Great coverage.
By number 84. That's Drew Wilkinson. And he's able to make the play right away. It's going to be Fairview ball down at their own 32.
1st and 10 Tigers.
Just under 2 minutes left in the first quarter. This has been pretty much a defensive struggle so far here. Only a couple first downs and several punts.
And it's not like you've seen a couple plays where you're like, oh, they almost broke that. It's just been a couple yards in a cloud of dust kind of offense for both teams. Corbin's running, pitch option. He gives it to Januso, who's down the sideline, and he is caught by Adams, but after a 15-20 yard gain. Gets all the way down to the 50, a gain of 18. Just pure option. There was a crack block by Logan Friseo there, which did not look.
There was. I'm not sure if it was legal or not. I'm waiting for the replay to come up here. That's one phase of our option offense that we haven't really utilized much this year is that pitch. That definitely was not legal by Logan Friseo.
I didn't announce it that because I'm like, Logan, you can't do that. They did not call it, so it's an 18-yard gain, and here we go, a counter to Januso.
A little bit of confusion in the
back out of room, and he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's thrown down by Adams.
Yeah, there was definitely some miscommunication in the backfield. Some linemen running into backs and quarterback running into backs. It was not a clean-looking counter. A play that
we've really relied on a lot this
year and have had a lot of success running the counter.
One of the things when you are successful at running counter, other coaches notice and they teach it during the week. We got to watch out for the counter. This is what you look for.
And so part of the issue we had there was disruption on the defensive line, which possibly anticipating counter.
Option includes a pitch to Friseo, who actually cut back. He's able to get about 4 yards. It's Jeremy Friseo with the gain of 4 then, so that'll make it 3rd and maybe a gain of 3, 3rd and 7. We're at the Franklin 47. You imagine that Coach Sobolewski treat this as 4-down territory unless we have a negative play here.
Well, considering he went for it on 4th down, 20 yards back from here, Once again, that's a pitch on our option, which is a part of the offense, but just one that we haven't seen much of this year. So must have been a point of emphasis this week in practice to try to get to that third phase.
And here we go with the counter against Januso. He's going to try to get outside. He's able to no, he's not. And Burkhardt pulls him down.
That is a horse collar tackle.
I think it was a jersey. He was able to get by Burkhardt, the linebacker. He read the counter again. It's a loss of about 5, so I think maybe we will punt it now. The first quarter comes to an end. We've had up and down games with lots of scoring. This one has not started that way. At the end of the first quarter, it's Fairview 0 and Franklin 0.
Yeah, last week we had 5 touchdowns in the first quarter. This week we have 0.
We haven't even come close.
Yeah, and Coach Sobolewski wasn't necessarily happy on that run. He was hoping Januso would cut it up. Like you said, treating this as 4-down territory, the only thing you don't want to do on that 3rd down run is take a negative play. And we lost 4 yards.
But they have a senior linebacker there, and he read the play earlier, and he read it this time, and was able to make the play. And it ended up being Januso in space against Burkhardt. And Januso got away from him, but Burkhardt, kind of what Calvin Smith did for Fairview earlier, he was able to just hang on to the jersey for dear life and pull him down for the loss.
And one of the issues here, the defender that actually made the play is one that we're not going to block on that play. If the back follows his lineman in the lead block here, he can actually run up underneath that defender and kind of just run right down the middle of the field. There was the gap there, but he took the handoff a little wide and he continued his path to be wide, so he wasn't able to hit the play the way it was drawn up.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and 12 now. As we're lined up in the second quarter, we're now Fairview's heading to the north end zone. Going to be a punt by Friseo, a nice punt. Bomb lands at the 14, goes right out of bounds. We're going to spot it at the 16, which is interesting. But it's going to be Fairview ball, or Franklin ball at the own 16. A great punt by Logan Friseo.
Maybe it hit a little deeper out of bounds than what it looked like.
I agree with that. But one thing, Januso is such a good athlete. He's so quick.
He is.
It's really hard for kids who have come up just outrunning people for most of their life as youth football players. No, you're not going to be able to outrun people anymore. They're a lot better now. You have to follow the X and O. You can't just trust your speed to win. Yeah, it's hard for kids who are so athletic to learn that lesson.
And that's something that a younger runner, is needs to develop.
I formation now at Franklin, and it's just going to be a give.
Looks like the ball came out, and
we came up with the ball.
They're giving it to him. What happened? Johnny Himline came out with the ball. Threw it to the ref.
I did not. Fastest I have seen Johnny run this entire season.
But not sure what happened. It looked like a false start to begin with.
I think the whole backfield moved before the ball was snapped, so I don't know if the play should have run. And then it was a fumble on the handoff, and Johnny just jumped on it.
So it's going to be Fairview ball on the Franklin 17 now.
So senior making a play to spark the team here.
Corbin's under center. And it's a give to Burrs. Popped outside. Down to their 10-yard line.
And up to Burrs to the 10-yard line.
This is the type of opportunity that as a coach, as a player, you don't want to let this slip through your fingers. You want to definitely capitalize on the fact that you started inside the 20, and this is when, as an offensive line, you just want to score with your man. Drive the guy into the end zone, let the back get in for 6 points.
2nd and 3 now.
Maybe 2nd and 2 at the 10.
Burrs again at fullback. It's going to be another give to Burrs. There's a hole. He's at the 4. So Fairview's getting big gashes right now. It's one of those plays where momentum can affect. That fumble after Franklin gets the stop, they fumble. Now they're Himline's running faster than we all thought he could. And now we have momentum. We're down to the 4-yard line.
Good thing Johnny doesn't play offense because he might need an extra breather after that run.
But a big play, and he might be a game changer. So he's got a right to be fired up. It'll be 1st and goal now from inside the 5, maybe the 4-yard line. And this time it'll be Zablotny up the middle. He's down to the 1 where he's met. A nice tackle by Franklin, and the rest of the guys pile on, make sure he's getting the end.
Sam Zablotny with the ball, makes it to the 1-yard line.
Gain of 3.
You know, looking at the sideline, I see Work really trying to make that ankle tape work here, and he's walking still with a little bit of a limp as the training staff watch him move back and forth.
2nd and goal from the 1. I think Zablotny's still in the fullback. I imagine we're going to see him, and we do. It's Zablotny off the right side, and he's hit again. No gain. Franklin's really playing well. They have a linebacker who's made a lot of plays. That's Carson Weibel. He was their first runner who got hurt. Number 43. I think he made the play. The last play he made the play here, so it's now still 3rd and goal. Nate lost maybe half a yard actually, maybe the 1.5 yard line. And it looks like it's about the 1.
Imagine it'll be another dive here, possibly even a QB sneak.
He gives to Zablotny. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. He's right up the middle.
Touchdown, Sam Zablotny.
He's got about 3 yards. Quick dove into the end zone. The tackler, and he's in. So that makes it 6-0 Fairview. There's 9:30 left, and see if Noosa can make the extra point here with a 7-0 lead. Travis Burge is back to holding as well.
Kane is one of those seniors, like you mentioned, the third, being a pillar of our team, and he's been with this team all 4 years, and it's great to see him get that score on the last game of his career.
Noosa's kick is up and not well struck. It ended up going wide.
9:30 left in the first half. Tigers lead 6-0.
Zablotny with the touchdown, and what is going to be the last game. His last game as a Fairview Tiger. Let's see if we can keep the momentum and get a couple other seniors touchdowns as the game progresses. Franklin did come out in a different formation that last play. They'd been in that I'm not allowed to call it a wing tee, even though it's definitely the wing tee, that Fairview runs with 2 wings, a fullback, dives, options, things like that.
Wing tee is more than a formation. It's an offensive philosophy.
Yeah, okay, thank you. For the lecture, it's the wing tee. But they did...
No, it's not. It's double tight slot.
They came out with... I formation, both fullback and tailback in 3-point stances, and then just ran a downhill run. But there was an error, some sort of mistake on the exchange. That's how Fairview got the ball.
Do you know what the T is for in wing T? So you have T backs. Did they have T backs? No.
They motioned to having T backs.
It was ace back.
Once the guy motions, they're in T backs.
Yes. When you have the waggle motion, you can get it to T backs, and you can run.
Waggle motion, you say?
Waggle motion. Yes. There's a wing T concept. But like I said, just
from the formation, you can't claim it's wing T.
Taken by Adams at the 11. Not Adams, sorry, different Franklin guy. He's out to the 35, to the 40. There's a face mask. It's a bad face mask, but he's brought down eventually at the 43. That was Wyatt.
Be another 15 yards.
Wyatt Bell, freshman.
Wyatt Bell with return.
It's a solid return. He is 5'9", 125. And he's able to get the ball out to, it appears, about the Fairview 43, but there's going to be 15 yards thrown on top of that for the face mask. Obviously nothing intentional to trying to pull him down, but 15 yards nonetheless.
Yeah, so they're probably going to be set up around the 40 here. Pretty close, too.
We'll see if they come out in the...
Although they're talking a lot. Maybe these 2 flags are for 2 separate penalties.
The back judge threw, there's 2 flags. One of them was thrown by the back judge from like 50 yards away.
Yeah.
Pretty good arm.
Which I figured he would just...
saw the same face mask we saw. If we can see it up here, I imagine he could see it as well. But
the way they're discussing it, it almost makes me feel like there might be 2 penalties on this play. I didn't see anything else, but...
We have 2 fouls on the play, both on the kicking team. We have illegal block in the back on the kicking team. That penalty's declined. We have a personal foul, face mask, on the kicking team. That penalty's accepted. 15 yards from the end. First down, Franklin.
Looks like, so the ball's at Franklin's 43. It's going to be, like we said, the face mask, which should take them down to around our 42. We'll see exactly where it ends up. Illegal block in the back on the team that doesn't have the ball is always an interesting call. But
yeah, and that,
I think that really means somebody hit somebody in the back when they weren't looking.
And that's actually, he marked that off 17 yards.
They might have said we were at the 46. So it's gonna now be, they put it to Fairview 39, where Franklin's gonna take over, and they are running the I formation with fullback, tailback in the 3-point stance, and it's just a give to Burkhardt. I think the tailback, he just comes right downhill, and he's able to get about 4 yards at 35. Nestle off on the tackle.
That was just a lead dive, meaning that the fullback was coming in as a lead blocker, handed off to the tailback.
Tackled by Discloff and
Trying
Sussman.
to get that forward momentum, and they pick up 4 or 5 yards. You're going to say they're running wing tee out of this, too?
That's very funny, and that would also be completely inaccurate.
Just like you said it before. It'd be just as inaccurate as before.
It's going to be I formation again, with tight end, 2 wide receivers. Burkhardt and Weibel seem to be the 2 running backs. And this is going to be a toss to Burkhardt off the left side. He's able to get the first down. He runs into, I'm not sure who. Looks to be Tyler Workback out on the field. He gets down to about the 23, where he gets the first down before Work. I'm sorry, it looks like Jeremy Frizeo forced him out of bounds.
That is a difficult play to run as a quarterback there, because he faked the dive to the quarterback's right, and then he pitches it back to the left with the tailback going in opposite motion. So, it's a type of thing that freezes the linebackers when you have split backs. They're not sure which way to react, and it was a nice toss to get the tailback to the outside and a big gain for him.
So now they're down at our 23, 1st and 10, back to that I formation. Buckley, Burkhardt, Weibel. Buckley fumbles the ball, and Fairview did. I don't know who's got it.
Bouncing around.
There's a ton of players hopping on the ball. It was a fumble.
Fairview had the
exchange.
chance.
Both teams should probably think their first guy should have gotten it, but I'm not sure who actually ended up with it. Nobody's pointing. I don't think anybody knows. We'll see who starts pointing as the players unpile. There's just a lot of watching, and usually when you get this deep, it means it's going to be second down. Franklin ended up with the ball, and it looks like
13.
Burkhardt, the tailback's the one who ended up, even though he was nowhere near. The play was going to him, but it was fumbled and kicked away from where he was. I don't know how he ended up being Johnny on the spot with the ball. So it's now 2nd and 10. I formation, same essentially offensive formation, and they are passing the ball. They are throwing over the middle. The big tight end, number 84. He's tackled by, it looks like Jeremy Frizeo, and I'm not sure who the other tackler is. Just a little curl. That the tight end's name is Wilkinson.
I'll say anytime you come against a team that has a freshman quarterback, you think that they might have some struggles, but I'll tell you what, this quarterback can really throw the ball. He's impressed me with his accuracy, and he kind of puts a little extra zip on it too.
Yeah. Wilkinson caught the ball, nice catch, but I don't know if he caught it or just accepted it into his body because it just pegged itself in there. Very nice pass.
And he's putting it right on the spot. I mean, we've had decent coverage on their completions, but the quarterback's putting it right there.
Back in the I formation, it's a give to Burkhardt, gain of about 2. Wilkinson's a big kid. He's a tight end sophomore, 6'2.5", 247. Able to nimble feet and good hands, able to make the play earlier. But this is a gain of about 2 before Nesselhoff makes the tackle.
See what our defense can do with their back against the wall here. I don't know if Franklin has a kicker. I imagine, just based on the situation and where it is in the season, where we are in the game, this is probably 4-down territory for the Franklin Knights here.
It's going to be 2nd and goal. It's back to passes. Buckley throws over the middle, and it's deflected, intercepted. There's going to be a flag. Natali has the interception. I think they're going to call pass interference, but Natali returns it all the way back to the 23.
Natali with the interception.
I think so. It was another
the ball
curl to
was
Wilkinson
tipped up into the air. I'm not sure what.
And
there was definitely a second foul on the return, probably an illegal block or a hold or something, which is going to be of no consequence if this is pass interference.
But it was Jeremy Frizeo trying to stop that curl route to Wilkinson they just ran. He was there. He deflected the pass, but I think they say he got there a little too early. I don't know if that's true, but I believe that's the referee.
Oh, or it could be illegal man downfield.
Pass interference. Defense.
The Fairview faithful are displeased with the pass interference call.
I'll be honest. I gotta agree with him. Frazeo made no contact before that ball got there. Looking at the replay, I don't necessarily agree with that call, but that's the call that was made, and the Tigers are going to have to deal with that. And now, in high school, not that it's going to change much here. It's not, because it happened in the end zone, they don't place it on the 1 like the pros, or 2 like in college. It's a 15-yard penalty, in this case, half the distance of the goal. Should be first down. It says second down on the marker.
And it's going to be I formation. They got Burkhardt deep, and it's a give to Burkhardt. He runs into a wall. Fairview really stonewalled the Franklin line there, and it's a gain of about 1 or 2. 6.5 minutes left.
And this is one that even if there's a call that you don't agree with or maybe thought it wasn't there, it's just a piece of adversity that you're facing in the game, and it's off the play.
Plotz and Himmeline.
Plotz and Himmeline make the tackle there, but that was really the defensive line in general. Just one. They stonewalled the blockers, and there was nowhere for Burkhardt to go.
So sure it's second down here.
The down marker
scoreboard says first down. The down marker says third. So
now
we're averages.
Scoreboard's updated. There's Buckley back to pass. He's throwing a fade to Adam, incomplete. On the coverage was Travis Burge. Logan Frazeo. And it was just a corner route and just overthrew Adams. I think he had a foot or two of space if that ball would have been right on the front of that very
Third down.
I think Franklin thinks it's fourth. They sent out the field goal team.
Yeah, Franklin is not doing anything. They haven't seemed to notice this.
And they don't have enough guys on the field. So I'm not sure. I mean, unless they're calling a timeout here, and they might be able to realize the mistake here. Unless I am unsure about the rule, I'm pretty sure on pass interference, it's an automatic first down.
Yeah, I believe it's third down. I'm not sure if if Coach Turk over there is aware, but I think they're catching wind of it. No one's informed the down marker guy. He's proudly staked in the ground at fourth down.
Yeah, so in case you didn't see this unfold, there was a second down, a throw that was picked off in the end zone. It was called pass interference, and so they marked off the pass interference, and it should be first down at that point, but they kept it second down on the marker, and then subsequently marked it third down, and now fourth down. And Franklin is not complaining about this. So they're going to kick a field goal.
Benningworth is lined up to kick the field goal. It's essentially an extra point, maybe a yard or two off from the marker. But Franklin's going to kick the field goal. It's up. It's a nice kick, and it is good.
Well, I guess that answers my question earlier of whether Franklin had a good kicker or not.
I think Worth's kick is good.
I'm still kind of puzzled. I mean, you are allowed to kick the field goal third down. There's nothing illegal about that, but I'm just I'm perplexed.
But they do get points on the board there.
Introducing the homecoming court.
And it'll be with 5:44 left in the first half. It'll be Fairview 6 and Franklin 3, with Franklin kicking off. Both teams now scored on the last drive after a quiet first quarter.
This first half is going by quickly here. Even with the multiple punts, there's just a lot of running. The clock keeps turning on those run plays, and it looks like we might only get one series before the half is done.
Deep again I'm trying to see who it's Januso, Burge, and Zablotny.
Yeah, and Zablotny
are the three returners. Januso, the deepest, standing at the 14-yard line. Fenningworth, the kicker who just made the field goal, is putting the ball right in the center of the field at the 40-yard line. Franklin will be kicking towards the south end zone. It's a good night. It's November football can be pretty cold, can be pretty snowy, rainy. It's actually a beautiful night for football, maybe about 45, 50 degrees. The kick is low. It's in between Zablotny. Januso picks it up at about the 8-yard line. Now he's turned upfield. He's at the 25, cuts up the middle. He eludes one tackler. Now he's off to the races, and the kicker, Penningworth, got him and is able to pull him down at the 48-yard line.
Great play by the kicker.
Great return by Januso. Picked it up like it was a ground ball in the hole at shortstop. Picked it up at about the 8-yard line, running laterally, and then was able to turn upfield, get through a hole, well blocked up, and get all the way to the 48. It was him and the kicker, and I don't think any of us would take that every time.
Oh, absolutely.
But Penningworth made a nice play.
He just latched on and was able to hang on to him until more.
It was not tackling technique
No,
so much
no.
as it was, I'm just going to hold you until we fall over.
Really, I think he just went out of bounds.
There's a counter to Januso on first down. He cuts upfield inside, which is what Coach Sobolewski was asking him last time. Gains about 4 to the.
There's still some kind of awkwardness in the backfield on that. We've been very smooth on those handoffs in previous games. There's just it's not clicking on all cylinders. Like you said, Januso did turn it up and run it up inside as it's designed to run, but it just still wasn't quite as smooth as we've run it in the past.
So now 2nd and about 6. I guess they put the return to the 49, so we're at the Franklin 45. 2nd and 6. Same double wing formation with 2 wide receivers. It's time for Zayo's in motion. It's a midline keeper by Corbin. He gets about 2 before he is tackled by Jonah Heckathorn. And I think Burkhardt came in as he went down. It's going to be about 3rd and 5. Imagine, maybe 3rd and 4. Imagine that we're looking at 2-down territory here.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think Coach Sobolewski likes to punt unless he absolutely has to. And if you get beyond the 50 and you're
within the sticks, meaning you're 4th and less than 10.
he's going to go for it.
Same formation. Zayo in motion. And it's a keep by Corbin again. He's in the secondary. He's going to go all the way. He's at the 20, the 10, the 5, into the end zone for the touchdown.
You know, that's one of those things that, I mean, that's probably his fourth keeper, and really hasn't busted one yet this game. And it's just it's the type of thing that you keep running it, and one of these times there's going to be that seam. He was able to hit that seam and take it to the house.
I don't believe he was touched. I don't think he had to make anybody miss or anything like that. It was just, I think, midline, option where you either give it to the fullback or the quarterback keeps it, and he kept it. And then just cut up, maybe in B gap, almost where the fullback ran. And
yeah, in that play, he's reading that defensive tackle. We don't block the defensive tackle on the left-hand side.
Januso's kick is no good. It's low, and it goes into the blockers. So it's going to be 12-3 Fairview.
So on that play, we have the defensive tackle lining up on the guard, and that guard just leaves him. He blocks down, gets to the linebacker, and Corbin's going to read that D tackle. If the D tackle closes on the fullback, Corbin's going to keep it and run. If the D tackle comes up the field, he's going to give and let the fullback run underneath. And in that play, the D tackle definitely closed down, wrapped up Zablotny right away. So Corbin just pulled and then took the ball himself untouched for 43-yard touchdown.
Yeah, and it could have been an 80-yard touchdown. I mean, there were pursuers, but I don't think they were going to
catch him. No one was going to catch him. So no matter where they were on the field, he was going to score on that one.
So now with 4:08 left, it's, as I said, 12-3 Fairview, 2 touchdowns. Hopefully, Januso's saving all his best kicks for
tomorrow. For those of you that don't know, Januso is going to be traveling out to Johnstown, PA, to play a quarterfinal soccer game tomorrow. So he's, after kicking tonight, he's going to try to get some sleep and catch a bus early to go out for that soccer match. Represent the Tigers in the state playoffs.
All right, Januso's lined up, and it's almost angled like he's going to pooch kick it, and he does from the 40 towards the left side, and it is caught by the Franklin returner. He makes one tackle, one guy miss. He's now into Fairview territory before he's brought down by Jeremy Frazeo. That was number 18 on the return, and I have to figure out who that is.
Almost identical field position to the last series, but Franklin was able to get a big return, and we've caught teams off guard before with those pooch kicks.
Marsteller.
So it seems like there was a number change from our roster for Franklin.
That would be Hunter Marsteller who had the return. A nice return. We were hoping he was going to catch the ball, and he not only am I going to catch it, I'm a pretty good athlete. I'm going to try to run this for a touchdown.
Yeah, not only did he make a good catch fielding that pooch, he was able to make a good return.
All right, they have the ball once again at our 40 to start the drive.
We are loaded up on the line of scrimmage defensively.
And it's a dive to Burkhardt, which goes nowhere.
Chris
Klotz is in there. He helped the Stonewall. I don't know if he made the play. Johnny Himline's there as well.
Johnny Himline is a very large defender to try to move out of the hole. And
no gain on the play.
And you're trying to run into his gap.
That's a very tough task.
Yeah, if he doesn't have to make the play, but as long as he can just stay low and you can't block him well, and at that point it's very, I mean, they're not going to be able to go anywhere, and that's kind of what happened there.
Yeah, and especially if you occupy two linemen in that stalemate, now you have your linebackers free and they can make the tackle.
2nd and 10, and it's going to be a give to Tyler Brandon, who runs just a jet sweep, and he's tackled. A great play out there.
Nice tackle.
Brandon with the ball.
I'm not sure who it was. It looked
by Jeremy Friseo.
Jeremy Friseo. That was just a great form tackle.
Came up, good
pursuit angle, wrapped up the legs, and was able to take him down. He had a full head of steam. If Friseo doesn't make that tackle there, that could have been a very big gain.
Now it's 3rd and 8. They're at our 38. The clock is starting to become a factor. Franklin's thinking about scoring this drive. There's under 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
However, it is 3rd down, so if they don't convert here, Fairview might want to think about taking a timeout.
Come out in the double wing, and they fake it to Brandon, but it's a give to Burkhardt, who is met by Taylor Sussman.
I think Coach might take a timeout.
Burkhardt with the ball.
4th and 9. They lost a yard. They fake jet sweep.
Gave it up the middle. Oh, it looks like Franklin's taking
a timeout. Maybe they're thinking of
going for it on 4th and 9.
On the outside run, they gave it to the counter with the.
It's not a great feeling when you're a running back.
Thank you.
What they might do here, obviously they have confidence in the Buckley kid. There's a Humes kid from Northeast was a good freshman quarterback too.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of good freshman players on teams that
struggled, like Franklin has, like Northeast has. You see that there's hope for the future when they have these young players that can really make some plays.
I've definitely been impressed with, just his ability to even just run the offense.
There was that fumbled handoff, which that happens.
But Buckley's ability to one, throw the ball and also run this offense, he's doing a great job. And just this play call right here, you see that they have confidence in him.
They have trips right with the third guy's a wing. Buckley's rolling out to his right, stops, he throws, tries to throw an out route, it's over Adams, it's incomplete. He tried to fit it into a very tight hole. Adams got a hand on it. It was over Burge and in front of Friseo on the out route. Burge was the underneath defender, Friseo was the deep defender. It was a pretty tough hole, and it's going to be incomplete. Fairview ball now, 2:19 left.
You're correct, and that was a very tough hole, but he was not far off from getting it in that hole. If that throw is just a touch lower, I don't think Burge can get to it, and I think Franklin gets two hands on it, and they're able to make the first down.
We'll see what Fairview's going to do here. We're up 12-3. We've had some success running the ball. We haven't thrown it that much, but only 2:19 left in the half. And it's a keeper from Corbin again. He keeps it up the middle. He's grabbed by Wilkinson, the big tight end, plays D-end. Gain of about 4 before a couple defensive linemen hop in and drive Corbin backwards.
I imagine we're going to see Fairview, get right up on the line here. We're ticking under 2 minutes now.
And we are already
5 yard gain on the play.
Formation. It's a pass. It's going to be a slant to Logan Friseo, who catches it, and he's down. He's at the not down. He's running at the 20, the 15, the 10. He's going to get into the end zone. Burkhardt can't catch him. There is a flag on the play.
I imagine this is going to be defensive pass interference or defensive holding.
That was a slant pattern, and it was into tight coverage. And Friseo caught it as the defender was draped all over him, fell off of him. I think they were calling pass interference on the defender. I believe it will be, the touchdown will stand. And then Friseo was able to keep his balance and
they can do it on the kickoff.
Yeah, they're going to choose to do the pass interference on the kickoff.
I actually have not heard of that.
So it's going to be a touchdown. Makes it 18-3.
So I I imagine, with the specialty kicks of Januso, that we're going to probably try another pooch or some type of onside with that additional 15 yards advantage on the kickoff. So great, last two series, two big plays. One by Corbin with a run up the middle, and then a big slant pass there to Friseo.
And we're going for 2, and it's going to be an out route to Januso. Easy completion.
So Corbin involved in the last 14 points. One, he runs it in, and then touchdown Logan Friseo, and then a 2-point conversion throw to Januso. Looks like our offense is starting to fire on all cylinders here.
We just talked about this freshman quarterback from Franklin Buckley, but that was a great ball into a tight coverage from Corbin. And part of being a good quarterback is knowing when you have great athletes out on the perimeter. Let him make a play. You don't have to be perfect. Just get it there. The ball was maybe a little ahead, and Friseo went and got it with really, for the high school level, an elite catch.
Yeah. I mean, part of it is, like you said, Friseo's just ability to reach out with his long arms and make that catch. Corbin puts it in a tight window there that only Friseo can get, but he makes a great catch, fights through the pass interference, and is able to get those yards after the catch, really 50 yards after he caught the ball.
And now we're walking off the penalty from the 40. It's going to be all the way down to the Franklin 45. I mean, you can see just, talk about the pooch kick. We can see, like you said, just a normal onside kick with how good Januso is at that.
I mean, a normal onside kick is going to be recovered at the 35, and that would probably be the worst field position Franklin's had to start a drive so far tonight.
But I imagine we don't really want to mess with anything. Things are really going Fairview's way. Just trust the process and a normal kick. It looks like Januso's lining up to kick it deep.
He might actually kick this into the end zone.
And that's
exactly what he does.
Ball lands in the end zone. It'll be Franklin ball at their own 20. 1:44 left. Franklin has shown some ability to throw the ball. We'll see if they open it up or they try to play more.
So I stand corrected. At 5 minutes when we got the ball, I said this will probably be our last drive of the half, and then we scored 2 touchdowns. So we had 2 drives, scored on both of them. And there's still 1:44 left. Who knows? Maybe we get another chance at this before the half.
Franklin does have no timeouts, so a drive would be difficult. They have to get a bunch of big chunks. Fairview has 2 if we really wanted to go that route. But Franklin's in the I formation, so it looks like they're planning on running the ball. Buckley hands off to Burkhart right up the middle. He's able to bounce away. Nice run by the senior, and he's able to get about a 5-yard
It looks like
gain.
they are rushing up to the line to maybe try to do something. And one thing to remember, in high school you get the first down. That does temporarily stop the clock, so 1:44 can be extended a little more, but that's still 80 yards. Is a long way to go.
Toss sweep to Weibel.
That does stop the clock for him.
Now the clock is running. I formation again. And cutting back is Weibel. Gets about 3 or 4. Franklin, like I said, has no timeouts. He's tackled by.
I imagine we'll start to see Buckley's arm here. A quick fade, a slant, and out, something to maybe get out of bounds.
And we have their target receiver looks to be this Cade Adams, and we have Logan Friseo sitting on top of him in the corner. But they're going to go to Adams. Actually, Buckley's running around now looking for a play. He's throwing deep, and it's caught at the 35, down to the 25, the 24. He's pushed out of bounds. That was Tyler Brandon.
Tyler Brandon with a reception.
A really nice pass from Buckley.
That was. Once again, I'm impressed by this freshman quarterback.
48-yard gain on the
It was a big gain, and luckily we had Friseo coming over the top because Natali was underneath that throw, and that catch, he could have been gone for a touchdown.
And there was play broke down. Buckley just had to scramble out and be creative, and he threw an accurate 35-yard pass.
And this, I think, is a very well-timed timeout by Coach Sobolewski. The clock was already stopped because he was out of bounds. So let's stop. Let's regroup as a defense. 33 seconds. We need to keep them in bounds, keep them out of the end zone. You know, on that play, one other thing that surprised me is we did not really get much pressure. Buckley was flushed out of the pocket, but he just stayed composed and threw a bullet down the sideline.
Yeah, we're watching the replay here. There was a little bit of pressure to start to make him uneasy in the pocket, so he rolls out to his right, and he does not look like a freshman in the way his body moves, or the way his technique is.
And just his confidence, his confidence in stepping out of the pocket and throwing that ball 25, 30 yards downfield.
Brandon was the left side wide receiver. He runs just a post route that ends up being a crossing route as Buckley scrambles to his right. So he just keeps running across, and that's where Buckley finds him.
Looks like Natali may have gotten a hand on the ball, you know, a slight tip, but the receiver's still able to make the catch and make a big play.
Two football players in the court.
And so it's going to be their ball at just inside at our 19. It looks like 34 seconds left in the half. Franklin, though, has no timeouts. And they're going to give it to Buckley again. He's going to drop back to pass. Throws an out route to Adams, who gets his feet in and falls out of bounds. Just a little quick out route. Gain of about 5, so it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 15, maybe 2nd and 6. 28 seconds left. The clock is stopped.
Good throw, good catch, and good job getting his feet in and getting out of bounds to stop the clock.
Their best offense has by far been trusting this Buckley kid to make a play. He's been pretty good of everything they've asked of him so far. Their I formation again, 2 wide receivers.
I imagine from this point on, it's just going to be throwing the ball. Just because they don't have any timeouts.
Buckley is pressured by Stolzitz, who nearly gets him. Buckley throws the ball out of bounds. Stolzitz nearly got him. He was then chased down by Plotz, but he just threw the ball. A mature play from a freshman, because he threw the ball onto the track outside the field.
Yeah.
And they're going to call intentional grounding.
I mean, it got past the line of scrimmage. I thought that he was.
Intentional grounding.
I thought that he was outside of the tackle box, but apparently he wasn't.
Should be lost it down.
Lost it down.
It is a loss. That's a big loss. So that's
the
just
flag is sitting at the 31-yard line. They were at the 15. I don't know where they're going to enforce this from.
Yeah, that he was clearly outside of the tackle box. And actually, there was a receiver somewhat close with the deflected pass. You could argue that he was going for the crossing route receiver, and when we hit his arm, that caused it to get away.
Coach Turk from Franklin is expressing the views that you have expressed, Luke, but with a little bit more emotion.
Yeah, he is a little more emotional about it, and you know, rightfully so. If I were Coach Turk right now, I would not be happy with that call, because that really kind of
now 3rd and 25
eliminates their chances
from the 34. I think that was only 2nd down that play was on. I formation again, but they're passing out of it. Buckley drops back to pass. He's rolling to his right, looking to see what he can do. He finds Adams over the middle. He hits Adams. He catches it at the 14. They don't have a timeout. They don't have a timeout, so they got to get on the field and call another play.
And it's 4th down, so they can't spike it. They actually cannot spike the ball here. And it looks like they're going to spike it.
Yeah,
and that's our ball now.
Yeah, it's going to be
Fairview
ball.
So that actually showed a little bit of a freshman mistake there. Although, you know what, Tom Brady didn't even know what down it was a few weeks ago in the NFL. So, you know, in the heat of the moment, it's tough. But either way, time runs out. So they're calling it the end of the half. Exciting end there by the Franklin Knights. Some questionable calls. Looks like Coach Turk is out there still arguing his case, which, like I said, I think he has.
If you're grading, what happens a lot is you grade players' decisions and how they do on a play, and I think if you're grading Buckley on that play, you give him a plus.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like
getting out of the pocket, evading Stolzitz. Stolzitz is a big kid and had his hands on him. He's able to get away, throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, that before they threw the flag, I agreed with you. I thought that was just a very big heads-up play by Buckley there to get rid of the ball and not give up the
big loss in the running clock. But you know the officials saw it a different way, so they called intentional holding and really altered the result.
The spikes they ruled did not happen before the quarter end.
Which I also don't agree with that call either. He snapped the ball by Tyler Work. He snapped the ball with 6 seconds left. So it's going to be 43 at the half. We're going to be shut our mouths. You can listen to the homecoming court announcement.
Maddie is the daughter of Tim
summarize
and
it
Pat
when we're done, and we'll be back
enjoys
for
soccer
the
and
third quarter.
track. She is also an avid traveler. Maddie plans on studying criminal psychology at West Virginia University next year. Tyler is the son of Denise and Randy Work. He enjoys football and lacrosse and hanging out with his friends.
Tyler will study business at Penn State University.
Maddie Glover, Tyler Work. Next across the field, Jenna Hannes, escorted by Sam DiStefano. Jenna is the daughter of Wendy and Brian Hannes. Jenna plays volleyball, basketball, and softball for the Tigers, and also plays softball for Erie Frost. Jenna envisions a future in nursing or physical therapy. Sam is the son of Amy and Ben DiStefano. He enjoys basketball, baseball, and is a member of the National Honor Society. He is looking forward to pursuing a degree in exercise science. Jenna Hannes, Sam DiStefano. Our next couple, Maddie Hayes, escorted by John Ennis. Maddie is the daughter of Kelly and Eric Hayes. She participates in cross country and track and enjoys painting and cooking. Maddie plans to pursue studies in biology. JJ is the son of Carrie and Andrew Ennis. JJ is a member of the French Club and plays lacrosse and swims. He also enjoys golf and skiing. He plans on attending Lake Forest College to study data science. Maddie Hayes and JJ Ennis. The next members of the homecoming court, Jada McBride, escorted by Will Scott. Jada is the daughter of Shannon McBride and Ryan Shaleski. She plays soccer, basketball, and softball for the Tigers. Jada also enjoys four-wheeling. She plans on studying criminal justice and psychology in college. Will is the son of Karen and Nick Scott. Will has played basketball, soccer, lacrosse, and has participated in track and field during his high school career. He plans to attend college to pursue a career in business. Jada McBride and Will Scott. Next across the field, Abby McCall, escorted by Doug Nesselhoff. Abby is the daughter of Denise and Brian McCall. She enjoys participating in soccer, basketball, track and field, as well as French Club, Community Service Club, and is an officer of the Mentor Club. After high school, Abby plans on being an animal science pre-vet major. Doug is the son of Jen and Doug Nesselhoff. Doug plays football and lacrosse. He enjoys spending time with friends and family. He plans on attending college. Abby McCall, Doug Nesselhoff. Our final homecoming candidates, Hallie Myers, escorted by Harry Murphy. Hallie is the daughter of Heidi and Daniel Myers. She is the senior class president and plays varsity tennis, swims, and runs cross country. After high school, Hallie plans on pursuing a career in business and swim at the Division I level. Harry is the son of Jill and Craig Murphy. He enjoys basketball and baseball. He's a member of the Mentor Club and Business Academy and enjoys broadcasting the girls' basketball games and the boys' soccer games. Harry plans on studying business next year in college with law school in his future. Hallie Myers, Harry Murphy. And now it is my honor to announce the 2020 Fairview High School Homecoming King and Queen, Harry Murphy and Jenna Hannes. Let's hear it for Harry, Jenna, and the entire homecoming court.
No.
So we are back here for the second half now.
We're talking about officiating.
Yeah. Coach Parmenter is trying to convince Jeremy and I that we should become officials, and we both adamantly said no.
Yeah, it's
No.
fun to be up here and just make jokes and
Yes,
say,
yes.
I wouldn't have done that, and then
I
I'm
would-
never
I
going to
would-
go down and do it.
I would much rather be critical than actually do what they're doing.
If you heard, we're not sure how good the audio was on that, but the homecoming king and queen was announced. The king is Harry Murphy, and the queen is Jenna Hannes. There's a small ceremony, mere the typical one, but obviously not the hoopla that we all love so much about homecoming. But we're going to start the third quarter here. I believe it will be Franklin ball, and we're
Going to try to zoom in a little bit. Good look at the
text. I'm not optimistic, but we'll see.
For those of you watching on YouTube, if you're watching it on our the NFHS network, it zooms automatically for you. I like that tech that does it for you. But if you're watching on YouTube, then we'll try to get a little better picture for you. No guarantees.
So the thing I'm a little worried about as a Fairview fan is I hope that Coach Turk isn't like, let's just take the shackles off Buckley and let him just go make a play every play.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I agree. Defensively, I feel like we've bottled up their run, but that quarterback back there, and actually and Adams as the receiver, that combination definitely worries me. From the defensive side. So, if they come out guns blazing with throwing the ball down the field, we might struggle.
And Januso to kick off. It's a little onside kick, caught by number 16 from Franklin. He bobbled it, but jumps on it. It was a complete onside kick. Recovered by, gotta find the number, and I cannot find the 16. So I'll give that to just Franklin in general. With the recovery, falls on the ball. It's going to be their ball at the Franklin 47, it appears to be. We'll see if they come out in the wing formation, they come out in the I formation, what they try to do here.
Yeah, we have seen a steady dose of the I, really from second quarter on. They haven't gone back to that ace double tight slot.
And they're in I formation, both the tailback and the fullback in the three-point stance, and it's Weibel coming hard down.
gain of about 3, get to
50.
Hand off to Burkhardt.
I'm sorry, that's Burkhardt, 13 and 43.
inline on the tackle.
Already at the midfield here, with that onside kick coming out of the half, give him great field position to start.
You are going to fall over in that chair. Good thing. You'll save me, right? Right?
I formation again. I guess it's more of a power downhill formation because of three-point stances. And this Weibel cuts it back. He's got Burge on him. He's still got his feet going. And he's down to the 35-yard line. Just another one of those leads, but this time he leaks out a backside gap.
These last couple of plays, we were in an interesting defensive formation. Our down linemen who have their hands in the dirt were very wide. We didn't have anyone down inside the guards or center. We just had kind of a radar nose. What we mean by radar nose is the nose guard who would normally have his hand in the dirt on the center, standing up, kind of shuffling his feet, to give him a little more ability to move back and forth.
Another
Give to Weibel, he spins out of a couple tackles.
he's running hard, and he gets about a 7-yard gain. He's down inside the 30.
So the advantage of that type of defense is it does kind of secure our defensive hold on C and D gap, but it makes us a little susceptible to A and B gap, and that's what Franklin has attacked so far this half, and they're starting to have some success with that.
So now second, and they marked it at the 29, second and 2 or 3. And they're coming out. I imagine we're going to see more of Weibel here, just downhill, trying to run through these A gaps. That's what it is, and it's tackled by Chevalier's there. I'm not sure who's around the legs. Nesselhoff, it looks like. It's going to be a gain of close to the first down marker. They're going to mark it just short, maybe third and a foot.
And in addition to that different defensive front, we're taking our 2 outside linebackers and walking them up and putting them on the line of scrimmage. So we're really protecting against any of those jet sweeps, the tosses, the pitches, anything like that. And telling Franklin if you want to run it, you got to run it inside where we're going to have Chevalier try to make the play there.
I formation again. This time it's a pitch outside. Bible is tripped up. A great play by.
That's going to make it 4. 5-yard loss on the play.
I think they got to go for it. They're at our 32.
That was just a great tackle by Sam Zablani there. Because, he had some room out on the edge, and, he was able to get on him, continue to run through him on the tackle, and just didn't let go of his legs.
And so they've come out running the ball, obviously, so far. No passes, but this might be when they have something lined up for Buckley to go make a play. They're in the same line formation, but they passed out of that a lot on that last drive. We'll see what they do. We are in that same, we're back in a more traditional defensive front. And Buckley's going to drop back to pass. He's scrambling to his right. He's looking for a receiver. He's got Adams over the middle. Caught by Adams at the 14. Adams is down to the 6. He's tripped up by Natali. A great throw and catch.
Once again, just great poise in the pocket, in his ability to scramble outside of the pocket and deliver a
accuracy
throw.
on the run is incredible for a freshman, to be frank.
Yeah, I mean, you've had experience at that position before, both quarterback and tailback. Throwing on the run is not as easy as what Buckley is making it look.
Well, throwing on the run when, like my senior year, when I was 6 foot, 180 pounds, and I was, most of the way to being a man, was one thing. When I was a 6 foot, 150 pound freshman, that was not happening. He's a really good player. It's going to be their ball, first and goal. They're in I formation. It's a give to, I think it's Weibel. I'm not sure which running back it is.
It looked like that was Weibel there.
And he gains about 2.
It's going to be second and goal for Weibel.
And just watching that 4th down play, we were able to get in and get a little pressure, flush him out of the pocket, and he's just delivers a strike into a small window, very small window. And Adams comes down with a great catch, but just a big play by the Knights there to get this drive rolling for him.
Second and goal, then at the 4. They're in the I formation again. And back to passes. Buckley throws the out route, and it's just out of the reach of Adams. Logan Frazeo was in close coverage.
Incomplete.
There was a well-run route, decent coverage on it by Frazeo there as well, but he did have a little bit of a step. If that ball was thrown just a little bit better, I think they would have made the completion for the touchdown there.
Now 3rd and 4. Remember, Fairview's up 17, 20-3. So even if they get the 2-point conversion, they still got to score 2 more times to get back into tie.
And as we saw earlier, they do have a very, very adequate field goal kicker. So if they don't get in here, I imagine they'll probably send him out to get those 3 points.
3rd and goal from the 4. They're in shotgun now. With the motion, and it's a keeper by Buckley off the right side, trying to get to the corner. He is pushed out by Jeremy Frazeo. They're going to mark it at
Buckley with the keeper.
3, it looks like.
Pushed out of bounds by Jeremy Frazeo.
He's a pretty athletic kid, but that was into the boundary. There's just a lot of Fairview traffic.
Yeah, 3 gain 1.
1 yard gain on a play.
4th and goal for 3.
4th and goal. Franklin, I think if it were a closer game, they might kick a field goal, but they do need touchdowns, and they know it. That's why they're going to go for it.
See what formation they come out in. It's that traditional I throw.
And now they're going to the wings. Under center is Buckley. He's rolling out to his left. He looks to throw the out, throws over the middle. It's intercepted by Logan Frazeo in the end zone. He's immediately tackled, but the big play is they do not score. Logan Frazeo.
That was a big play by Logan Frazeo. On 4th down, you typically teach a secondary to bat it down because you're going to retain possession. However, we would have gotten possession on the 3-yard line, whereas getting that interception in the end zone and going down, now we get it on the 20.
Yeah, and it was a rollout to the left, and Buckley is looking back over the middle. The right receiver, right side wide receiver ran a little crossing route. and Buckley, who's been fitting it into small spaces, tried again, but this time Logan Fizeo was able to hop in front and make the play. So now it'll be Fairview ball. First time we've had the ball this half after they took up 5 minutes on their initial drive. So now there's 7 minutes left as Fairview takes over with Corbin under center in the double wing.
Yeah, Buckley just led his receiver a little too much on that last play there.
It's just
give up the interception.
A give to Bird on essentially a dive, and it's a gain of about 6. He goes tumbling out of the massive players, falling forward.
I'll leave it at 2nd and 3, maybe 2nd and 4.
Coach Sobolewski pregame was talking about how he'd really love to get Travis a touchdown this game, you know, with the senior, his comeback story. Get him in the end zone as a nice little parting gift.
Sure, I would just like it just to lock this game up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Corbin is talking to the sideline here. Little communication. There is no free safety here.
Remember how the Eagles did it a couple years ago in the Super Bowl?
To give to Bird, he's going to be looks like a first down over the 30-yard line. I think what they're going to start doing, Fairview's up 17, but Franklin's shown you able to move the ball. The way to make sure that you win this game is to slow it down. They ran the play clock down to 1 or 2 before they snapped the ball.
So yeah, there's definitely no hurry by Fairview here getting in and out of the huddle. You know, let that clock continue to run. You can take 40 seconds each play and you keep it in bounds.
Double wing again, 1st and 10 from the 31.
Keeper.
It's going to be a keeper by Corbin. He's trying to get around the right edge. He's able to get there. Gets about 6 yards before he's pushed out of bounds.
I don't know if that was a design keeper. It looked like it may have been a little bit of a busted play, miscommunication between the quarterback and the back on which direction to go. But Corbin made something out of nothing there, running around the right edge and getting positive yards on first down.
I think it's 38-yard line, so that's a gain of 7.
7-yard gain on the play for Corbin.
They're going to give him 7, so it's 2nd and 3. Fairview's putting together a nice drive here. We've really been able to kind of open up and get yardage where we started the game with a couple 3-and-outs. It's going to be a keeper by Corbin. Run outside, cuts up, makes one guy miss. He's out in the open field at the 50, the 45. He fumbles the ball. The ball's knocked loose, and it's recovered by Franklin. That is, hopping on the ball is Tyler Brandon. He recovers it.
Covered by number 4, Tyler Brandon.
That was a great play, and
Great defensive play. I mean,
was the quarterback, Cole Buckley, chased Corbin down, and instead of just trying to tackle him, just it's ain't in technical terms, mollywopped the ball. Corbin was carrying it, and the ball popped out, and then everybody went flying out of bounds. The ball was maybe a yard in bounds. We were hoping it was going to go out of bounds.
For the night.
But stayed in, and Brandon hopped on it. It'll be Franklin ball. Corbin got all the way down to the 34 of Franklin before the fumble turned it over.
Corbin got up a little slowly there too. It's one of those things that one of those little things
you teach it back when he's running down the sideline to have that ball on the outside hand. He didn't, and the defender was able to capitalize on it.
Franklin comes out with a cross sweep just off the left edge. A nice play is made. That was Jonah Heckathorn, who was at fullback.
Frizeo coming in on the side.
And Jeremy Frizeo from his free safety position sniffed it out, I guess, and then went up and snuffed it out for a 1-yard loss. They were on balance there too. They've been doing that a lot with the, slot over technically, with a flank or off line of scrimmage on one side and a tight end and a split end on the line of scrimmage on the other.
Yeah, only a defensive back would fall over balance.
It doesn't make a difference. There's less guys who can run pass patterns on one side of the ball.
Looks like we have tight end trips to the field here.
And Buckley rolling out to his right, runs an out route, hits Adams. Adams has it to 39, cuts up, makes looking for Zayo miss, but Januso's on the tackle.
Sorry, it was not tight end trips, it was just an illegal formation.
First down.
It wasn't called. He gets down to the 44, nice pass. Adams is pretty elusive, signals first down in Januso's space. And it's going to be Franklin ball at the 44, a good positive play.
Maybe they marked him on the line of scrimmage. I thought he was saying both those receivers were off.
But Adams has shown an ability to make a catch and get yards afterwards. He's shown that he's not just a set of hands. He's taken the ball. He's made the first guy miss multiple times and added on after Buckley's put the ball right where it needs to be. Buckley under center. It's just going to be a little trap and it goes nowhere. Aaron Burkhart, the handoff, he lost. It looks to be about 2 or 3 yards.
That was just great team defense there, hitting them at the point of attack,
making them bounce it outside,
and just a lot of red jerseys rallying to the ball.
Traps involve a quick little pulling guard. I'm not sure if it was trap, but there's definitely a pulling guard, and that pulling guard was launched backwards by whatever Fairview defender he ran into, and Burkhart ran into him and bounced backwards, and so I'm not sure who the D lineman was, but they made the play.
Looked like that was Nesselhoff.
Yeah,
there.
Nesselhoff made the play.
Did a great job wrong-arming the guard back in.
Buckley's rolling out, looking left. Now he's rolling. He's scrambling a little bit more. He's scrambling all over the place. He's spinning around. He's throwing deep to number 1. It's just incomplete. That was Wyatt Bell, a freshman. Actually, he's from Rocky Grove in their co-op.
He was open, and the distance on that throw, that was
a 60-yard throw, I'm guessing.
I mean,
55 maybe.
The way that he scrambled around and was able to still get the ball downfield to a wide open receiver.
Yeah, and I think he was open partially because we always had a rule when I played. It's like if he's 70 yards downfield, you don't have to guard him. But that time he was able to guard him. And he was able to get the ball there, which was the incredible part. Coach Turk from Franklin is going to call a timeout. We're going to try to see a replay of this because it was a crazy play where Buckley rolled out to the left. Initial play wasn't open. He spins around, decides, am I going to go back to my right? Nah. And then runs back to the left and then just says, I'm going to throw it as far as I can. He had a receiver down there. And I mentioned named Wyatt Bell. He goes to, I think it's Rocky Grove. They're in a co-op where Rocky Grove students play at Franklin. Don't quote me on the Rocky Grove. I just think that's what it is. We're looking at a replay. He throws it from the 33, and it lands at the 15.
Yeah.
That's like a 50-yard pass after running around for 30 yards. And it's from a 150-pound body.
Yeah, that's impressive. And not only was it a 50-yard pass, but I mean it was a half a step away from being completed. That was impressive.
2:57 left now, so there's a lot has happened in this quarter, but there's been no scoring, which Fairview can't really be upset about. They're still up 3 possessions, by 17 points, 20-3. And you got to feel confident if Fairview does have to go drive the ball down the field, we're going to be able to do that. The only thing that stops us last play was a fumble, or last drive was a fumble. It's now 3rd and 13. They're in shotgun. Buckley's in shotgun with 3 wide receivers. Maybe 2 wide receivers and 2 wings, I'll call it. Takes the snap, drops back. He's looking to his left. Now he's scrambling, throws a quick pass, and it is almost
intercepted.
He was looking for Weibel, and it looks like, I think, Januso, who dove. The ball was a little underthrown on an out route, and Januso dove for it. Might have knocked the air out of himself. He's asking to come off, and then he's changed his mind.
4th down.
It's now going to be 4th and 13. I don't know if he could have intercepted that, but he definitely got hands on it.
The ball was low, and so it would have been close, but it definitely got there and got his hands on the ball.
So it's 4th and 13, down 17. You understand why Coach Turk is looking to go for it here, and then I assume he's running out of formation. Let's just let Buckley go make a play. I think they.
Yeah, that was an illegal.
Yes, it was. And now Buckley is. They've thrown the flag. Buckley is scrambling, and now he's got a ton of field. He's going to run. He's probably going to get the first down. He does before he's knocked out of bounds at the 44. But Franklin's in an illegal formation, so it's
looks like it was called. Should have been called by the sideline judge, but the referee called it instead.
He rolled to his left, pivoted around, ran back to his right, and was able to get. They had to get to the Fairview 46. He gets pushed out at the Fairview 44, the entire offensive play was to the left, so when he rolled back to the right, there weren't a lot of defenders there, and that's why they're calling the illegal formation, which means we're going to have 4th and 18.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, he's showing that not only can he throw the ball, but he's kind of elusive back in the pocket as well. We're getting some pressure, but we're just not coming away with the sack. Something that our defense has been able to do pretty regularly this season is get pressure on the quarterback and get a sack. We're struggling to contain Buckley and get him down.
4th and 18 now from their own 36.
Franklin's going for it out of the I formation, and Buckley drops it
Back. There's pressure. He's scrambling to his left. He's looking for somewhere to throw. He makes the blot and he misses, but no, he doesn't. Blotney gets him and gets the sack. It's actually at the line of scrimmage. It might be a gain of 1. Zablotny is able. He's been a
on our side, Buckley, with his scrambling. If we go right down and stop it there, a gain of maybe 1. It'll be a turnover on downs, and Fairview will have it at the Franklin 37.
You know, pretty much right where Corbin fumbled the ball on the last series. We're getting the ball back in the same
Field position, just time taken off the clock. So, in the end, our defense makes a stand. No harm done from our turnover, and we can get back to work on offense.
Corbin under center, double wing. Frazeo in motion. It's a give to the fullback. I'm not sure which one it is. It's Burge, and he gets maybe 2 or 3 yards.
And off to Burge. 2-yard gain.
You know, like we said before in the last series when we were on offense, this is where we just want to slow it down, continue to have ball control, continue to hold on to the ball, you know, get it to 3rd down and get the 1st down, get it to 3rd down and get the 1st down, and take time off the clock and keep control of this game.
2 minutes now left in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 8 from the 35. Corbin gives to Burge again. There's a lot of push from the O-line, and he's able to get down to about the 30, a gain of 5. And Burge runs hard, but he didn't have to do much there. It was just push from the O-line, and we didn't see, and there's going to be a timeout called by the officials for an injured Franklin player back in the secondary. Not sure who it is, but he's lying on his back, the Franklin trainers. But offensive line didn't have his greatest performance last week, but they're certainly winning the line of scrimmage battle so far tonight. 1:39 left in the 3rd quarter. Somebody able to figure out who's down.
Yeah, I'm not able to see what it looks like.
Oh. Adams is the corner.
He was able to pop up and looks like he's all right.
I think he got either tripped or he tripped. Well, I think it was Logan Fazeo, or
yeah, he was holding his head.
They just tried to block him very aggressively at the play,
and he just staggered backwards. We'd call that, I believe Luke would call that a pancake, but I think it was more a loss of the balance by the defensive player.
Hey, if he ends up on his back, he ends up on his back.
Doesn't matter if you tripped him, doesn't matter what, you can call it a pancake.
That's exactly.
It's going to be 3rd and 3. Give to Burge. He's hit. He spins away. He gets the 1st down. There were a number of Franklin defenders, and if they would have stopped him where they hit him, it would have been 4th down. But Burge said,
I've been doing this for a while now, and I know what I'm doing,
and he's able to get the 1st down.
You know, that was just a great second effort. Burge definitely earned that entire 1st down on his second effort after that first
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
So a new set of downs, and the clock continues to run.
It's great. The play before, that was an offensive lineman win. They got 5 yards on their back. That one, they didn't do as well, but Burge picked them up, and he was like I talked about.
The gain of 6.
You know, like I said before, Coach Sobolewski really wants to get Burge that touchdown. I have a feeling that he might try to accomplish that on this series here. Of course, Burge has to come out since his helmet came off.
6 yards on the play. 2nd and 4.
Blotney's coming in. There's 41 seconds left, so maybe 1 or 2 more plays in the quarter as long as they're runs.
This will most likely be the last play of the quarter, unless the clock stops.
How about you break one?
So Blotney's in at fullback. And it's a keeper by Corbin. He staggers to try to make a guy miss and gains about 3 yards down to the 15. We got to get to the 14 for the 1st down.
Looks like it's going to be 3rd and short here, and we're going to flip sides of the field.
We'll see who's in at fullback. Travis Burge is standing over by the sideline. Tyler work. It seems that it's not a serious injury for Tyler, as it's on a hole at halftime. But obviously ankle injuries are ankle injuries, and that sometimes you can play on them, sometimes you can't. So we had all our points scored in the second quarter. We had scoreless first quarter, and now scoreless third quarter. We head into the fourth quarter. Fairview still up 20-3. But we got 2 plays to get a yard from the 15, and then we're going to go in.
Cheer for our Tiger mascot today, wearing number 10.
Hopefully, put this game out of reach.
Ryan Stolzich.
Crowd was excited about something. I don't know what that was.
Ryan Stolzich.
Stolzich want to do a fervor over that.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, he's down there with the cheerleaders.
We have a pretty good crowd here. Homecoming. The student section is spaced out as they've been asked to do. There are probably about 50 students down there.
That's a great guess. There were 56 student tickets we gave out.
Some of us just have. You ever see Rain Man?
You know what? I could see some similarities with you and Rain Man.
But it looks like we have a couple other 100 Fairview fans. Franklin, this is going to be obviously their last game for their seniors. They have a good showing. A lot of people drove up. Maybe 100 to 200 fans for them. But now we're in 3rd and 2. It's going to be a whistle and a flag before the play starts. There's going to be a handoff to Burge at fullback. But it looks like it's going to make it 3rd and 7, whether it's false start. Oh, offside, so it's going to make it first down.
So we'll make that first down. So in high school, if you line up in the neutral zone, that is a dead ball foul. So, you know, there isn't that free play that you see on Sundays. You know, if they break that neutral zone at any time, whether they line up in it or move into it, it's a dead ball foul in 5 yards. So it looks like we need a full 10 in order to punch this one in here. 1st and goal from the 10.
Double wing, Burge at fullback. It's a give to Burge. There was a little bit of a scuffle on the handoff, but Burge ended up with the ball. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. A couple D linemen driving backwards.
2nd and 10.
Gain of no gain, I guess. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. 2nd and goal from the 10. We were right on the 10-yard line just about. So it was 1st and goal. Now 11 minutes 25 seconds left, so the clock is still running. So the longer we take with this, even if we don't end up scoring, it's really going to make it hard for Franklin to get back into the game. Double wing formation. Danuso running a jet sweep. He loses his balance, gets his hand back underneath him, and he gets down to about the 5-yard line.
He had a little bit of a seam there, and if he loses his footing, I think he would have been gone and into the end zone for the score. But he slipped a little, and he gave Franklin enough time in order to make the tackle on the 5-yard line.
So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 5. We're bringing Zablotny back in. Burge is coming out. And obviously 4-down territory, 2 more plays here to try to punch into the end zone. The only way we probably don't go for it is if we lose a bunch of yardage here, and it makes it really unfeasible. But we got twins right, both Frazeo brothers, and I think Corbin's going to roll out. Oh, he fumbled the snap. He picked it up. Now he's rolling. He's got Stolzich at the 2. He's into the end zone for the touchdown.
That was a well-drawn up pass play there to get Stolzich out, and that adds a 3rd receiver to that side of the field. Very difficult to defend, especially since they added him late in the play, and resulted in him being wide open and Corbin making an easy throw for the touchdown.
Yeah, the Frazeo brothers both run slants there, and they clear out the right flat area, and then Stolzich just trickles over into it, and Corbin kept his composure. That was a fumbled snap, and I've done that before, and you freak out because the ball's on the ground. Then you pick it up, and you've got to return to the play, which he was able to do. Danuso's kick is up, and it's perfect. We're going to make it 27-3 Fairview with
10:27 left in the 3rd quarter.
And like you said, oftentimes with the ball on the ground on offense, you're taught to just jump on, keep possession. In a situation like that, it's in the backfield and you can continue to make a play, you know, you have that ability. And Corbin was able to pick it up quickly, still continue to play. The routes were there, and he was able to hit a wide open Stolzitz to get the 6.
There's a well drawn up play I don't know if they were pick plays. I'll look right now. It was just a tight end block and release, and then because of the 2 slants running, you're going to create a lot of clutter. And
really, the breakdown there is it's man coverage, and so he didn't have anyone really man up the tight end. The outside linebacker should have. He saw the tight end block down, so he came in through C gap, and then Stolzitz had that delayed release, which is very difficult for a defense to defend, especially if they're in man coverage. And, you know, I think that's something that it's an adjustment that Coach Sobolewski saw in what the defense was making, or, you know, what the defense was giving us, and calling that type of play. It's a man beater play, similar to, you know, what he did to capitalize on Northeast cover 3 in their goal line a few weeks ago.
Michael Januso kicked it deep, a nice kick. It's going to be taken at the 9-yard line. Return 25. He's wandering towards the Franklin sideline.
He's got a hold.
He's deep into Fairview territory. It's Michael Januso who slows him down before he makes the tackle. There's going to be a flag.
Well, the return, basically the 30-yard line, brought down by Bird.
The freshman Wyatt Bell.
Yeah, there were several flags there on that play. We'll see what they were.
I don't know. Obviously, they're usually in those situations on the Franklin, on the return team. I'll note that Michael Januso probably more involved with that play than the soccer team would like.
I don't know if the soccer coach is watching the game tonight, but yes, I would agree with that statement. And you know, it's the type of thing that you can kick Friday night, but don't go tackling anybody.
And what Michael did is he got in the way. He got run. I don't think I'm lying to anybody here. He got run over, but he slowed down Bell so that somebody else could come make the play. So he saved the touchdown. He didn't know there was going to be a flag, but made the play, did exactly what you had asked him to do.
Exactly.
That's the second time we've had a near kick return for a touchdown thwarted by a freshman kicker. Franklin's kicker did earlier in the game to one of the Fairview returns.
Looks like the referees have a little trouble with the mic.
Two penalties, one's holding.
Personal foul on the kicking team. Those penalties offset. We will re-kick.
Okay.
And we are going to re-kick.
Which is news to both the Fairview defense and the Franklin offense, who were lined up on the field.
They were ready to go. They just assumed that it was something like a holding or a block in the back. And
we don't know the hold. Obviously, we don't know where that was. But I don't know. Obviously, the unsportsmanlike of it is a mental error from Fairview. But I don't think any of us saw it up here.
Personal foul.
Luke's watching the replay now. We're going to kick again from the 40.
It may have been on that. It was a little off camera. May have been right there. There was a little extracurricular over on the 40-yard line, 42-yard line.
I'm not sure. It's just a couple people going. I mean, it's extracurricular. It was a blocker and a guy getting blocked on a kick return. The returner was coming.
outside of the play.
It wasn't
it really wasn't.
It wasn't one of those old Luke Bell extracurriculars, which is 40 yards away from the play, and the coach is like, "What are you doing?" And Luke Bell says, "I was mad." Looks like we're lining up
once. That happened once.
We're lining up for a pooch kick, and Januso with the perfect pooch. It's coming down, number 15. Has it at the 30, and he's tackled. He escaped a number of Fairview tacklers before he's brought down. Logan Fazeo, Smith were there, but he's able to get away. And Chevalier eventually gets him down. He only got about 5 yards after he was able to stagger out of the multiple tackles.
Yeah, I thought we had him contained back, a few yards back from there, but he squeezed out and was able to get a few more yards.
Let's go, Fairview!
So 10 minutes left here in the game. Franklin has the ball on their own 41.
They're going to come out in the I formation. Looks like they have double tights, which is a new formation. Or no, it's just slot over. And Buckley's back to pass. Now Buckley's scrambling. He's got a receiver deep, but he's not going to throw. He's going to keep it, and he's going to run for close to the first down.
Buckley runs the ball for a first down. Brought out of bounds by Jared Januso.
It looks like they're actually going to mark it short of the first down.
Correction. Short of the first down.
It's going to be 2nd and 1 right at the 50.
2nd and 1.
You know, it's still, even though we scored a touchdown, it's still just a 3-possession game. Now, we did make those 3 possessions harder. You know, before it's 17, they just needed 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Now they're going to need 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions.
And
you know,
if they're going to do it on Buckley's back, he's going to get very tired running
Yes.
around like this. So
Yes.
that is to advantage. They don't have an easy way of getting touchdowns. They got to rely on his playmaking ability. And he's scrambling. He tries to throw an out route. It's incomplete. Intended for Joey Hedgeson.
You know, that was the first throw. I know we were hitting him as he was throwing it. That was the first throw that was really off target. You know, by that severely.
Yeah, it's not that I'm any sort of technique expert or anything, but when he rolls out to his left, his footwork, he doesn't get his hips around, which is a common problem with freshmen.
Which is a common problem for any high school quarterback, especially a freshman.
Yeah. That's the only thing I've really been able, not like I said, I don't pretend to be an expert, but normally you notice stuff, and he hasn't done a lot with poor technique. Kid knows what he's doing. This is just going to be a 3rd and 1 give. It's going to be wide around the outside. He was up the middle, got stuffed, and he actually bounced it outside where he's able to gain 10 yards, get down to the 40 before Travis Burge chases him down and drags him out of bounds.
10-yard gain on the play.
9:44 left. Clock is now stopped. Fairview up 27-3. It was 23 at half, and Fairview just scored on a Corbin to Stolzitz 2-yard touchdown. That's the only scoring here in the second half. Buckley under center with double wings, or now it looks like wide receivers as they move around. And Buckley drops back to pass, throws an out route. It is nearly intercepted by Natali. Nearly caught by Hedgeland. It was overthrown a little bit, incomplete.
That's one of those plays that, you know, you teach that corner, only undercut that if you can get 2 hands on the ball and make the pick. You know, worked out there. He was able to possibly tip it, but if Hedgeland makes that completion, he's...
My college defensive back coach would say, you never undercut that. If you ever undercut that, you better intercept it. But I'm telling you not to undercut it.
Yeah.
And then I would go try to undercut it, and if it worked out, he would never yell at you. They're essentially taught never to undercut it because that's how you give up touchdowns, especially when you have 27-3. Let them complete the pass. Buckley drops back. Now he's rolling out to his right. He eludes Plotz. Cuts it. He's not going to get away from Stolzitz. He throws him to the ground at the 48.
Stopped by Stolzitz.
Big sack there. A loss of about 8 or 9 yards.
It's going to make it 4th and 19
or
3rd and 19. I apologize.
Well, you know, with
9-yard loss.
the way the game's going, it could be 3rd or 4th. You know, who knows?
So obviously they're going to try to get the first down here. There's only 9 minutes left. Clock's running.
Yeah, and that's the other benefit of getting that sack. The clock continues to run. You know, needing 3 possessions here. Time is definitely a factor for Franklin.
And the more Buckley does this, he's still going to be athletic and get away from people, but Fairview sees it more and more. They know what they're dealing with. They know this is much more like a backyard football game when he gets a quarterback and starts running around. But Franklin's going to use a timeout.
Looked like the play clock was about to go to 0 there, and they didn't want to make a 3rd and 19, 3rd and 24. So they used one of their 2 remaining timeouts to try to get reset.
Timeout, Franklin. The second timeout of the half.
So as a defensive back here, 3rd and 19, what are you telling yourself?
The thing that I'm telling myself if I'm playing defensive back for Fairview right now is this quarterback can make a play. You need to stick with your receivers.
Exactly, and that was going to be one of the things that I was going to mention here. You know, he's shown
you're an offensive lineman who's going to lecture a defensive back about how to play. Okay, go on.
No. What I was going to say is, as a defensive lineman, you know that Buckley has shown that he can extend the play. So you want to try to contain him and shorten that time he's in the backfield to try to help out your defensive backs, because you know it's hard enough to keep coverage for 3-4 seconds. It's even harder to keep coverage for 10, 15 seconds.
And you got to let him scramble. You got to make sure that your guy doesn't catch the ball. That he doesn't even want to throw it to your guy because he's so covered. Buckley is rolling out to his left. There's a lot of pressure. He's got no receiver, so he's got to keep it, and he gets about a 2-yard gain. So Blotney chases him down. It's going to be 4th and 17. I think they're marking him out of bounds. The clock is stopped with 8:35 left. Buckley didn't think he
Yard do well, but they did not do well there because he rolled out to his left and every
he had no receiver there, and that's one of the things you teach your receivers that when you have a quarterback
that's mobile like Buckley, you have your scramble rules. Once you see or sense
that he's scrambling, you need to get to the side that he's on,
and you need
to alter your route.
Unfortunately, he started to scramble immediately, and there were no receivers around to help him out.
Only 5 on the play clock if they line up. Buckley under center. He snaps it with one, and he's rolling out to his right.
Looks like
he's hit hard. The ball is out. It's bounced back to the 25, where it's jumped on by Franklin. It's going to be Fairview ball at the 25. Buckley was hit pretty hard.
He was hit very hard by Nesselhoff there. Just kind of a blindside hit, totally clean and legal, but it's just he's a right-handed quarterback, and he was
in the process
of throwing and just got hit in the back by Nesselhoff, and ball pops out. It was a fumble, and Fairview recovers to get the ball deep into Franklin territory.
I'll notice Cade Adams. I'll note that wide receiver he was able to connect with a lot in the first half. He hasn't been in this drive. I don't know if he's injured. I don't know what's going on.
He did get injured on that one defensive set when Stalzich was blocking him. He looked like he has not returned to the game.
Hopefully it's nothing serious. Obviously head injuries, which it might have been, we're very cautious about. But that has affected
That was a
guy, and he hasn't been around. It's now Fairview ball at the 26, and it's a Burge dive up the middle. Gets maybe 2. 20 seconds left in the second lead.
Once again, Fairview's going to try to milk this clock here. Franklin can only stop the clock once. They only have 1 timeout left. If Fairview is able to get some points on the board, that'll pretty much seal the deal for the game. If not, just take time off this clock.
Yeah, as long as Fairview doesn't turn the ball over on this play or the next, really, and runs the ball, there's probably not going to be enough time for Franklin. This time it's going to be another give to Burge. He's fighting. There was no hole, but he made it a positive play. Got down to the 20-yard line.
Burge basically the 20-yard line.
Going to make it about 3rd and 3 or 4.
4-yard gain on the play.
Imagine they'll continue another dive to Burge here, maybe a jet sweep to Januso or Frazeo, but they're going to keep it pretty simple. Could see a counter come back to that.
Same formation, double wing. Burge is at fullback. Corbin's running the clock down. And it's a give to Burge. Good block from the O-line. He runs through one tackle almost. He's tripped up for the tackler
Looks
on
like
the ground, but he's very close. Yeah.
Very close to the first down. Might not have it quite yet.
Referee signaling 4th down, but it's going to be about 4th and 1.
4th down.
Which I imagine this is going to be Travis Burge territory.
Either that or possibly a keeper by Corbin, depending on how the defense lines up. But I would agree. I mean, even if we don't get this, we've taken 2 minutes off the clock. That's
Corbin under center. It's just going to be a keeper, and it was a good push by the O-lineman. He gets the first down to the 15-yard line.
Picks up the first down.
16 and a half, maybe. He gets down to the 15 on just a QB sneak.
Yeah, great line surge there, and that line surge gives Corbin the opportunity to easily pick up that 4th down play. Turn it into a first down. Now we have a new set of downs. We're under 6 minutes, and the clock is still running.
This is what we talked about, trying to get Travis Burge a touchdown. We'll see if that's the idea. He is at fullback. He had to come out last time as we were getting close. We ended up throwing a touchdown pass to Stalzich. It's going to be a counter. Januso, he cuts up inside, doesn't get very far. That play is not really broken like we've wanted it to, like it has against other teams. It's only a gain of 3.
Franklin is playing a pretty sound stay-home defense. You know, Coach Turk did play for your dad under his defense at Gannon. I remember him teaching me as a D lineman, you know, a lot about fundamentals and staying home, and usually a counter capitalizes on a defensive lineman not being disciplined. Franklin showing that they can be disciplined, stay home, and it's really taking that play out of our offense for us today.
So it's now 2nd and 8. It's actually only a gain of 2. And it's a keeper by Corbin, and he is wrapped up by a big D lineman. That's number 67. Gotta find out who that is. It's Ryan Wood, 6'2", 255. Got his hands on Corbin and pulled him down on it. It was that keeper that went for a touchdown earlier. Gain of about 3 or 4 though, so it's going to be about 3rd and 5.
You know, once again, probably still going to be 4 down territory, so we only need to pick up 2 or 3 on this play, 2 or 3 on the next play, and that'll get us that new set of downs.
Clock's now under 4.5 minutes.
Burge scoring, which we haven't done in a few.
It's a give to Burge. He's off the right side. He loses yard. It maybe gains a yard or 2. Down to the 8. So it's going to leave it 4th and 3. And we're going to try to kick a field goal.
Yard gain on the play.
There we go.
Sending Januso out for
We're on the right hash here.
Letting the clock continue to run. We're going to kick this with under 4 minutes left.
I don't know if we can trust our field goal team to run the clock down with that facility.
It's already under
I
4
thought
minutes.
right.
It's okay. I was
Take back what I said. Luke's right, I'm wrong.
pretty confident, you know, considering it's at 3:46 right
now.
and he hasn't even marked off his
I thought
kick
I
yet.
did my math wrong. I thought it was 4:30. But Burge is holding. The holds down. The usual kick is up. It looks good, and it's good. Good. Fairview with 3.5 minutes left.
See at this point, let's take Januso off.
3:32 left.
Save him for tomorrow.
He's got to kick off right now.
30-3.
We're really running it because you got to go find the tee now. He's running all over the place. We're really messing with his stamina. But 33 Fairview, I think that pretty much puts us out of reach. This will be a good opportunity for a lot of the seniors to get their perhaps last. Some of the seniors, the last snaps of football they might ever play.
Yeah, you know, I remember my last game on this field as well, and it's one of those things that as a senior you don't think it's ever going to come, and then all of a sudden it's there, and then you never get to put those pads on again.
Yeah, football's a weird sport like that because there's no men's league or intramural league on the college campus. It's just done.
Yeah, it's not something that you can do into your old age and in your free time. You know, it takes an extra level of organization and just, you know, sometimes take for granted the opportunity that you have.
That's why we're so happy. It looks like Januso kicked another little pooch kick. It's going to be caught. A fumble. Logan Fazero caught the fumble, but it's hopped on pretty quickly by Hedlund. He's been the one having to deal with all those kicks all night. They'll look fun. You have to run all over the place, catch it. Well, Fazero comes down and tries to clobber him. He was able to catch that one. Fazero knocked it loose, but Hedlund jumped on it.
Yeah, that is not a fun kick to have to field, because really, you know, by the time you get the ball in your hands, you're going to have a defender right in your face.
And just to the point we were making, I said that Fairview is going to be one of 2 teams after this weekend that played 10 games. Obviously, we're not in the playoffs, and I don't think anyone's here to argue that we're one of the better teams around, but we're a fine football team because Fairview was able to take care of their business in terms of the virus and making sure everything was organized. These kids are going to get that 10-game season that so many of the kids in the area wanted but didn't get. So we can commend the Fairview administration on making that happen for these kids. Now we have a toss sweep to number 33. That he's tackled for a loss by Stalzitz. That's Jonah Heckathorn. Loss of about 5.
Yeah, and they were in a different formation. They actually were in tight trips on that one. They motioned to tight trips to try to get the extra blocking advantage over on that side, you know, with the toss, and it just ended up not working out for him.
So now it's 2nd and 15. The clock's under 3 minutes now.
And it looks like, Franklin realizes that this is a little out of reach, but they're just going to try to have some positive plays to finish out their season as well.
I wouldn't mind watching them having Cole Buckley run around. That's fun to watch. And it's going to be a toss sweep the other way this time to Burkhardt. He cuts up, is able to get a yard or two before he's tackled. Zablotny is getting up.
Toss to Burkhardt. Tackled by Zablotny and Nichols.
Nichols is there as well. It's about 3rd and 12. As Isaac Januso jogs onto the field to be involved in the last couple plays.
And I do not believe that there's a JV game tomorrow. So this is the last game for the entire Fairview squad here. So coach is trying to get some guys that don't necessarily play on Friday nights out on the field, give them some experience. Whether it's for this year, their last year that they're going to play, or for next year.
Here's Buckley rolling out. He's almost hit. Now he's running around. He gets away from Stoltz's throws. Incomplete. He's looking for Hedgeland. I thought he was gonna get.
I thought it was gonna do the same thing. Nesselhoff had a really nice spin move on the offensive lineman there, and was able to get free and pursue Buckley, but wasn't able to get there before he threw the ball away.
Yeah, Buckley was able. His timer in his head was not great last drive when he got laid out. But this time he was in the same situation, and he's like, wait, I should probably move.
Because if he stayed there, he would have been laid out by Nesselhoff in the exact same manner that he was before.
4th and 12 from their own 35. There's 1:46 left.
Obviously, they need to get
Downfield. He's going after his
left. Finds. It's incomplete.
Almost picked off by Little Bird.
Goes through Hedgeland's hands and goes off the knee of Samuel Work, who's running over to make the play. It's going to be Fairview ball at the Franklin 35. 1 minute 42 seconds left. Probably our last defensive, once we score here, play of the season. And you can't really complain about a defensive performance. It's all around game from all phases. Especially with an unpredictable kid who can make a lot of plays in their quarterback.
Having a quarterback as dynamic as Buckley is always tough for a defense, because you especially can have a great start of a play, great coverage, and then with his ability to scramble and still get the ball downfield, can then make a defense pay. So it's good to be able to contain him and their offense to only 3 points.
It looks like Corbin's going to kneel, and I think that we have enough time that if he just kneels 3 times, certainly helps that we waited a couple of seconds to start the 40-second clock. But
getting a little boost by the officials there, waiting to start the play.
And the officials have read the situation well. There's been a couple times when they could have called illegal formation or penalties on either team really as the fourth quarter went on, but they understood the momentum of the game that probably wasn't necessary. And so looks like we're going to get a couple more kneels, and that'll be it. And the season will end with Tyler Corbin taking a couple of knees as Fairview clinches a winning season at 6-4.
A really great season for the Tigers. And especially since 2 of those losses were to the same team, within their region play. Ending this season 6-4 is really a statement on the work that these guys did in the off season, in the preseason, the work that the coaches put in to getting them ready with a new system, a new offense, new defense, just everything. The work that they had to put in, very, very respectable.
And
6-4.
I don't think anybody loves the Fairview football program as much as you and I do, Luke. And it was topsy-turvy the last couple of years, and we come out of this season feeling good about where we're at. Coach Sobolewski has really been able to take the rudder and get us to a winning season that was we're not one of the best teams in the state, but it was a fun season.
It was.
A lot of fun games.
We had a lot of fun games, a lot of entertaining games.
Final score: Fairview 30. Franklin 3.
Let's
hear from the Tigers.
Unprecedented year.
With a record of 6 wins, 4 losses.
When it was 2 days before
And let's hear it from the
players
seniors
reporting
who
for
played
camp.
their
We
final
didn't even
game
know
on
if we
this
were
field
gonna have a
tonight.
full season.
Tyler Work,
And then be able
Travis
to
Carter,
have 10 games.
Isaac Januso,
Will Postema, Sam Zablocki, Kyle Nichols,
So hats
John
off to those
Hillman,
coaches, hats off to
and
the
John
players,
Youngman.
and all the hard work that they put into this season.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and read all the seniors who played their last game for Fairview tonight.
Luke, make sure if I miss any.
Tyler Work,
Travis Burge, Isaac Januso, William Postema, Samuel Zablotny, Kyle Nickel, Johnny Himline, and Doug Nesselhoff. And I think that's it. Who all helped. I just complimented Coach Soboleski, but these were the seniors that went through a lot of the weirdness that we've gone through and rode it all the way out to get a winning season. I can tell you, I didn't get a winning season in my high school career.
Neither did I. Neither did I.
So they
started.
that.
They started right after I left. Oddly enough.
Anyways, thanks for listening. If you listened to us this year, regarding podcasts, I don't know what's going to go on with winter sports.
So we
we'll
will
play that by ear.
We will, if you're on the NFHS network listening to us and watching the feed right now, we'll continue to have that in our gymnasium for all of our basketball games, both boys and girls basketball. We'll use the YouTube channel to try to stream some of our swimming events in our natatorium, and we'll try to have commentators on as much as possible. I'm confident in saying I will not be one of those commentators. I just prefer to watch basketball and not comment on it. Who knows? Jeremy might be one of them.
I get roped in. The students have done a great job. I'm always roped in if somebody can't make it.
Yeah. Well, we typically have students do that for us. So.
And Luke will still comment on basketball.
Oh, I'll comment, but I won't know what I'm talking about. So I can at least claim I know what I'm talking about in football.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. 6-4 season for Fairview, ending with a solid 30-3 victory over Franklin. We'll certainly for football, we'll catch you next year. Otherwise, we'll catch you with the winter sports if and when they happen. Have a good one.